good morning, good morning. All right, Pensacola, good morning. All right, welcome. Good morning. Yeah, you got Vernon this morning. Good morning, and a Merry Christmas, y'all. Merry Christmas, y'all. Let me cut this off here, and I want to say good morning and hello to everybody under the sound of Vernon's voice this morning. Good morning. Just want to tell you that hope you have a very beautiful day. Weather outside is cooperating. Very nice outside. Nice. Good morning, y'all. Mr. Porter's my engineer. Okay, he's my engineer, and he'll tell me what's wrong because he just called me, and I know well, Vernon, your phone, your mic is off. You can't hear you. I see your mouth moving, but you can't hear what you're saying. So, thank you, Mr. Porter. I appreciate. He just don't know how much I really appreciate him. All right, y'all. Good morning. You have Vernon this morning, yes, sir. Day is Tuesday, y'all. On 2 days before Christmas, y'all. Today is Tuesday, 2 days before Christmas, September the 23rd. The weather is very nice outside. It really springtime weather, late spring weather. Really, we're gonna have a real warm Christmas. Thank goodness, a real warm Christmas for some of you, but you know, for me, I prefer a cold Christmas because that's what I like and used to when I was growing up. Boy, we had cold Christmases almost every year. But anyway, good morning. I want to say good morning to everybody that's listening to me on Facebook, on the social media pages. I want to say good morning to everybody looking at me on television, like Mr. Porter. Good morning, Mr. Porter. He's got me locked and blocked in this morning. Folks that listen to that over the phone app and everything, very good. We definitely appreciate that. Okay, we definitely appreciate that. And I want to say that you're going to have a great program. Well, let me give you a little lineup what we're going to do before we go to a commercial break this morning. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about the news. Here's what's going on around your world, what's going on right here in Pensacola, right here in Escambia County, right here on the Gulf Coast, right here in the state of Florida, and across the country, and perhaps around the world this morning, okay? Perhaps around the world this morning. Hopefully we're going to be talking to Mrs. Shakita Payne. She's going to come on around the, excuse me, the 7:30 time frame. And then hopefully we'll be talking to Mr. Jerry McIntosh and Mayor D.C. Reed around 8 o'clock, hopefully, if the creek doesn't rise. And we're going to talk about what's happening around the world. You know, we'll talk a little bit about the lottery and everything. But until we do that, I gotta pay a few bills here. They how did that come about in the industry? I don't know. What they saying? We had to pay a few bills. I know what they mean about that. What they mean about that. These are the folks that support and help you stay on the air. But in the meantime, y'all. In the meantime, y'all tell everybody that Vernon is on this morning. Have your coffee. I had my coffee already. Got my coffee this morning. If you just getting up, you got to go to work. Great. Just listen to it. Just put it on your phone. Listen to us on Alexa. I think they got us on Alexa now, but I'm not sure exactly. Get in your car and listen to it in your car. All right, but I'll be right back, y'all. I'll be right back as soon as as they would say, pay these bills. All right.
Navigating heart care can be challenging. Baptist makes it better with the latest treatments and innovations and the area's largest, most experienced heart team ready to create a care plan just for you. All when you need us most. Let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
Hey, Escambia. Today, we're talking trash, specifically bulk waste.
Starting July 1st, 2023, bulk waste service will be called for pickup. You can schedule a pickup by calling the ECUA Customer Service Department anytime before 2 p.m. on the day prior to your normal pickup day. Bulk pickup is still included at no additional charge.
Check out ecua.fl.gov for more information.
Know what to throw, 850.
From affordable home equity lines and home loans to high-yield checking that pays 5.05% APY, Pen Air combines innovative banking with a commitment to our community. Pen Air Credit Union. Join us.
The Service Center at Pete Moore Chevrolet can maintain the life of your vehicle regardless of make or model. Our certified factory-trained technicians have the expertise for domestic and import vehicles. And the Pete Moore Advantage provides you complimentary services whenever you stop by. Our Collision Center accepts all insurance, provides lifetime warranties on all workmanship and paint, and offers a deductible reimbursement program. So when you need service or repair, let the Pete Moore Service and Collision Center work for you.
Hi, I'm Jessica Ford. I'm the owner of FD Builds. Energy efficiency is very important in today's market. With higher interest rates and rising costs, it's important that home buyers maintain their bottom line of affordability. The nice thing about natural gas and natural gas appliances is that it's more energy efficient than their electrical counterparts, and at the end of the day, utility bills are lower. Our relationship with the Pensacola Energy team is phenomenal. From customer service to their field teams, it's just a seamless process. We love Pensacola Energy.
Looking to start a career or change your current career? Pensacola State College is the place for you. Choose from short-term, high-demand career and technical education programs ranging from commercial vehicle driving to medical assisting. Call 850-484-2000.
Singing telegram! Happy, happy holiday cash scratch-offs. That looks like a great gift for everyone on my list, including me.
Oh, watch out! The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
You are invited to the 37th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, Monday, January the 19th, 11 o'clock a.m. in downtown Pensacola. This year's powerful theme is with unity, we won't turn back. Register your group today. Entries are placed by the date your application is received, so don't wait. For registration forms, email the mlking2020@gmail.com or call 850-378-9242. Join us as we honor the life, the legacy, and the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, everybody. Yes, but I'm trying to get myself in such a Christmas mood to hear my Christmas music in the background. Oh, have mercy. Anyway, good morning. Good morning. You got Vernon this morning. Yep, you got Vernon this morning. Yes, sir. We're going to stop this music behind us and we're going to talk about what we need to talk about this morning. I just want to say good morning to everybody that's under the sound of my voice this morning. If you're looking at us on social media, y'all, please, I want you to like us and comment. I want you to share with everybody that Vernon is on this morning. And we're going to talk about the things that you want to know about. 'Cause if you like me, a little bit nosy, you want to see what's going on in the world, and that's what we're going to be talking about going on in the world. But before I get to some of the top news stories, I just want to just ask you to share our knowledge. Just share with us, with other people about the show. Just share with them that WBQP TV now has a radio station. So we got WBQP TV and WBQP Radio. WBQP TV and WBQP Radio. And so if you want to get us, just as easy, like I always say, it is just as easy as pie to get us, okay? Easy as pie to get us, particularly when we're on the phone. You just really easy right here. So just bring up that link, rdo.to/WBQP, and that's where you can tell everybody where you can find WBQP. Put my audio back on. That is the quickest and the easiest way to find WBQP, okay? It's the quickest and the easiest way to find WBQP Radio and WBQP TV. So we want everybody to know, okay? All right, like I said before, we're going to have Jerry McIntosh on around the 8 o'clock time frame. And also, Mayor D.C. Reed, hopefully, comes in on. He will come on around 8 o'clock this morning. And let me see if I got my Chiquita Payne from Escambia County, a Emerald Coast, not Escambia County, ECUA, Emerald Coast. You know ECUA, Emerald Coast. What does that ECUA mean again? See, I'm so I get up in the morning and I can't remember. All I know, it equals jobs. I can tell you that right now. It equals jobs. Yeah, it equals jobs. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's talk about what's happening around the world this morning. Okay, what's happening around the world? Let's talk about the world first. Okay, what's going on? Okay. Well, I guess you know by now, the Epstein files has not been fully released, and that's causing a brouhaha up in the D.C. area. Congressmen, even across the board, the Republicans and Democrats are up in arms with the Trump administration for failing to release all of the files, and particularly on schedule. And the few they have released, it has been very heavily redacted. In fact, many pages are completely black. And just very few of them, according to those who having to know about it. So Congress now is a little upset with the Trump administration. Pam Bondi, they trying to hold Pam Bondi criminally responsible, to try to indict her, do something with her, so that she, let me put it this way. They're trying to hold her accountable, okay, for failing to enforce the law and act the law. She is Attorney General of the United States. She should be enforcing the law. I'm wondering, since she's in charge of arresting people in the United States, who will arrest her? I don't know. We have to go. We have to see how that's going to play out. Along that line, a lot of photos has been released of Bill Clinton, and none have been released of Donald Trump. You go figure now. Donald Trump was his best buddy. Okay, I don't know how best of buddies he and Bill Clinton was, but it's very interesting to see that more photos has been released on Bill Clinton than it on has been on Donald Trump. So the Clinton administration, the Clinton folks, and Clinton now demanding that more pictures and files is released for Donald Trump. So we'll see how that definitely will play out. All right, speaking of Donald Deranged Trump, his antics is up in arms again. They're trying to siege another oil tanker from Venezuela. They had another tanker that actually got away. They steered out of the Caribbean back into the Atlantic, and they on the hunt for him right now. How in the hell can you lose a big ass boat like that? You tell me, but that's just my just my just my commentary there. But anyway, the railroad they saying it's an act of piracy and theft. So what they trying to do, and Jerry McIntyre gonna talk about this, but many people believe that the drug thing and the oil thing is just a false flag to create a war, which Donald Trump wants, and create a war, and so that he can take over the oil fields. And Trump now say everything out loud, okay? And the reason I think they say everything out loud, because he got some supporters that probably not smart enough to understand if he tried to know dog whistle. They even include Trump. I mean, he have to say things out loud so he can even understand it himself. That's my opinion. Okay. Also, another deranged act again. He has named himself again every day. He putting his name on. Y'all should have saw that coming when you elected that fool. Should have saw that coming. Okay. He put his name on everything he could, even before he was elected. Anything he put his name on, he did. Did you expect anything different? Okay, all right. You should have. Now he's still putting his name on everything. And that, in one way it's crazy, but in a different way it's a stroke of genius, because he will hope that his legacy will live on. Okay. Now his newest antic is they're going to create a new class of battleships, okay? A brand new class of battleships. He calls them the Trump classes, the Trump class of battleships. Whenever these battleships go into force, they're going to be named the Trump class battleships, okay? And these are the brand new, I don't know when they are going to, it'll be in the future, much in the future on that, okay? Much in the future when they create these new battleships, but they're supposed to be bigger, faster, and better. He didn't like the idea. He ordered in the Navy and in the Defense Department to make new battleships, which we probably need, if you ask me, but nobody asked me. And but if war is not your main objective, if war is just for defensive reasons, you may not know it, but if it's going to be for offensive reasons, you might want to do the biggest and the best and the fastest and all that other kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens there. So that's another act of derangement, is that he's sticking his name on a new class of battleship. Gotta be something wrong with that boy. I'm telling you, gotta be something wrong with that boy. I'll tell you that. All right, let me move on, because when I talk about him and Mr. Porter, I apologize. He just said, keep that man name out of your mouth, okay? Yeah, right. Thank you for that. He's the President of the United States, and I don't see how in the hell you can keep the President of the United States name out of your mouth. And the thing that I sometimes have a little issue with, is that a big issue with it. Let me ask you this, okay? People don't like you to criticize Trump, but they never criticize Trump for criticizing other people. He's supposed to set the example. He's the person of the United States of America. He's setting the example for America, but he is the lowest class, the most deranged president we have ever had in this country. And yet people fail to call him out, as though when he was running back in 2015 and 16, he, in my opinion, was a racist then. He's a racist now, and he has well demonstrated that he is a racist. So I feel comfortable in calling him a racist. But they fell short of everything but calling him a racist at the time. When, you know, if you do racist things, if you act racist, then you probably is a racist. I can tell you that right now. And so, but anyway, all I'm saying to you is that people, they want to shut you up, and that's what the system wants you to do, is start talking about it. And so as long as you don't say anything about it, they can continue the process. And that's what people are doing. They failing to act. They failing to criticize. You know, they don't want the press to talk about it. You know, just let bygones be bygones. Let him do it. No, should not be the case. Okay, you have a thing that called a First Amendment right. Okay, you got a freedom of speech in this country, and you better use it while it's lasting, because it's slowly eroding away. Okay, so if you're going to lead the United States of America, then put on some thick skin and prepare to be criticized. And so if one doesn't want to be criticized, then one shouldn't criticize others, in particular him. But anyhow, let me move. Y'all get me? Yeah, maybe I am suffering from what he called TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. I got it bad, okay? But anyway, I'm talking about some better news, okay? Let's talk about some better news. Yesterday, we kind of made aviation history, if you will. And I don't see in this day and time, this is almost 2026. And yesterday, for the first time ever, as they're saying, an airplane landed itself. It had called automatic landing. They had an aircraft. What happened was automatic landing itself. A couple of pilots took off, and they ran into some trouble, went up to like 23,000 feet, and was forced to put their oxygen on, and they was disorientated. And they say that when that happens, the airplane is almost unrecoverable, because the pilot does not have the oxygen that going to the brains, you know, that they can focus enough to land the airplane. However, that did happen yesterday. They had to put on the oxygen mask, but somebody had the foresight and had an airplane that had automatic landing in it. Okay, automatic landing. And so that technology is available. It happens. You can automatically land the plane, just like they automatically fly a plane. You know, they put it on autopilot. Okay, well, they can auto land now. Okay, but it had never been done before until yesterday. And so those pilots ran into trouble. They're not sure whether they pushed the they pushed that auto land button on it, or if the computer detected that well, how the system works, as I understand it, is that if the system doesn't, if the computer listens to the pilot, and if the pilot doesn't respond in a certain time frame, then the automatic pilot will automatically come on, turn itself around, find the nearest airport, and land. Okay, and I know you remember the situation for the golfer back down in Florida, down in Central Florida, that took off some years ago in his airplane, and they ran into the same kind of problems. Okay, but then everybody passed out because of the thing, and that plane flew for hours and hours and hours. Flew all the way across the United States. Payne, I think the golfer was named Payne, and until it flew, until it ran out of fuel, and then it crashed. Had they had that technology, then they would have been saved. What's called automatic pilot. So I think that was one of the incidents or accidents, if you will, that led them to start installing autopilots on airplanes. So yesterday was the first time, according to the reports that I'm getting, yesterday was the first time this technology was used. and it worked. It worked flawlessly on an airplane. Not a passenger. It wasn't a big passenger plane. It was a smaller plane. So I don't know whether or not they have that technology on huge aircraft, passenger aircraft yet. But I do know they have autopilot on the passengers. All right, let me move on to another page on the national scene. They're on the lookout for 3 inmates that escaped out of a Georgia jail yesterday. So Georgia's not too far from here. Escaped convicts. You know what can you say? You might want to be on the lookout Christmas time and be very careful. Now a little bit turning the page again. Kind of a little bit of humorous kind of national news, which is not funny, but it's happened. 11-year-old and his friends stole a car, okay, and led cops, if you will, on a high-speed chase. A high-speed chase, running as much as 78 miles an hour, and with an 11-year-old driver that had never driven a car before. And so they finally apprehended him after he lost control over and wrecked the car, ran it into a house, I guess. And then the kids got it was three little teenage boys, 11 and 12, and 2 was 11 and 12. No, 8, 11, and 12. That's what the ages were. 8, 11, and 12. That is kind of funny, but it's not funny. And they want to find out from those boys, well, who taught you how to drive? Number one. And they said, well, they learned how to drive on the computer. Had never driven before, but learned how to drive on the computer. Wow, that's kind of funny to me. All right. Also on the national scene, the lottery now, if nobody has been lucky enough, or somebody's that said nobody's, if you said nobody won, but I believe the lottery was up to $6.9 billion yesterday. And I don't know whether Monday, so I don't play lottery that much, so I don't know whether it was you played lottery yesterday or today. If it's not, I'm going to have to go out and buy some myself. Now, it's getting so big, I can't resist, But I hear that the lottery, the Powerball is up to $1.9 billion. If I'm quoting accurate, 1.9, that's almost $2 billion, okay? And the payout of that is going to be almost $1 billion. Can you imagine winning $1 billion? I mean, I'm talking about the cash payout. The payout is actually $1.9 million, but if you take it over a 20 or 30 year period, and which is a lot of money. But if you use the cash option, it's almost $1 billion, y'all. Woo! You go ahead and make yourself happy. Make yourself happy, okay? Make yourself happy. All right. Holidays coming up. Also, on the national level, if you work for the federal government, okay, if you work for the federal government, Trump did do something nice this year, and he did it. And to his credit, he does some things I agree with. And even when he was in office the first time, when the day before Christmas is not a legal holiday, but he gave federal workers off the day before Christmas every year. So did Obama. And I don't know whether Biden did or not. I can't vouch for Biden. I can't remember. But if you are a federal worker, okay, that's the rule. There's exceptions to the rule, and I'll tell you what the exception is in a minute. But if you're a federal worker, you have tomorrow off as a federal holiday, okay? That's your gift for the president. Now, he even sweetened the pot this year, okay? He even sweetened the pot this year. Not only did he give you the day before Christmas off, he also gave you the day after Christmas. Since Friday is the day after Christmas, which is normally not a holiday, but it's leading up to the weekend. And so as he called himself, your favorite president, gave federal workers the 24th and the 26th off Okay, so it's considered a temporary federal holiday. So you don't have to go to work tomorrow. You don't have to get up and listen. And I'm not going to be up tomorrow either because the show, this morning show, I want to be off tomorrow. Take myself off, give myself a holiday, and also Thursday. So for all the federal workers, you got a long weekend starting tomorrow until Monday. So thank your favorite president for that. Okay, thank your favorite president for that. Now that's rude. The exception is folks like the post office now. The post office will be open tomorrow and Friday, and so I don't know how they reconcile because they are federal workers. I'm assuming quasi kind of federal workers as well. Okay. On the local scene about that, NAS in Pensacola sent out a press release saying that NAS will be closed on the 24th and the 26th. For the same week, the same time, 24th, 25th, and 26th. So they'll resume uh, opening up the gates again right after Christmas. Okay, right after Christmas. Um, Now on the state level, that's pretty much on the national level. Let's bring it down to state level. I think some of the legislators, the supermajority of the legislature in the state of Florida, is probably getting a little tired of the lame duck governor's antics as well. They're trying to rein his powers in now. So there's some talk and some legislation on some senators now trying to limit the powers of DeSantis. Okay, now you got to be careful about that. And I'm always suspicious. I'm always suspicious about motive because that is a supermajority. When they should have started reigning in power, they should have started 8 years ago. So I'm kind of suspect of why they're doing it now. And probably the reason they're doing it now because this is a lame duck president. I mean, lame duck governor, and it may be a good chance that we will have a Democratic governor, okay, in Florida in 2020, elected in 2026. There's a good chance, okay. I'm not saying it will happen, but there's a good chance that would happen. When we talked to Jerry and Derek Scott, we're going to talk about who are the candidates this year. I believe Jerry Demings out of Orlando, Florida. The other guy that turned Republican that turned Democrat. I can't call his name right now, but we'll talk about that. But anyway, I think when the legislatures in Tallahassee are thinking now about limiting the governor's powers, it's a little bit suspect to me. Okay, a little bit suspect to me. How about some good news on the local front? Yesterday, and hats off to the city of Pensacola. We talked to the city of Pensacola. The City of Pensacola Police Department spokesperson, Officer Mike Woods, yesterday. And when I talked to him yesterday morning, I heard a lot of background noise, and he said, he's out there trying to get to kids some Christmas. So yesterday, and also on this whole weekend, even including when I talked to the sheriff's office, Chip Simmons, on Friday, they got a program called Shop with the Cops. So good thing going. The cops been out shopping and making sure that the kids are going to have a good Christmas. So hats off to the cops that doing this program. On a sadder note, there was an accident on, I think it was on Blue Angel Parkway yesterday, resulting into the death of a young woman, and because of somebody driving impaired. It was charged with the guy was charged with DUI. Okay, DUI, causing the death of an individual. So just as a cautionary note, be careful. It is the holidays, and like we say, nothing worse than trying to deal with a death during the holidays. But more than that, be careful. You have to do a lot of defensive driving out there. And despite of all that you do and all that you say, things still happen. So my advice to you is to be very, very careful. And if you're planning to be on the road starting today or tomorrow, note that it is predicted to be some very, very, very heavy traffic on the highway. So you might want to plan your trip so that you won't, you don't get into the middle of that. Maybe you want to start off. Some people I couldn't understand. I had a cousin of mine, y'all, that would not travel during normal hours. If he was to go somewhere, he would always leave at 11 o'clock at night or midnight. Something. He said, "What I do, I drive all night because the traffic is not heavy at night," which is maybe is not a bad idea that we do this now and help prevent some traffic. If everybody had the same idea, then it's going to be a problem. But if not, if you want to travel at night, pretty early in the morning, to avoid the heavy traffic, do so because they're expecting a lot of heavy traffic on the roads. And so be very careful while you're out there on the road. And if you're out there, if you are going to travel, you want to listen to WBQP radio, WBQP TV, just do that app there, or put us on CarPlay or whatever, and stay tuned with us, okay? Stay tuned with us, all right? And keep us in mind. If you're flying, it also anticipated that you're going to have a lot of issues and a lot of delays, that we have weather issues up in the Northeast, and out west. You got flooding, tremendous rain, and you got weather, snow and stuff up in the Northeast. So that certainly will impact travel if you're heading that way. Okay, so just be awfully careful out there. And again, not only while you're traveling, and just like I mentioned just a few minutes ago about the young lady on Blue Angel Highway losing her life in a collision, head-on collision, because of a person that was driving DUI. Also look out for motorcycles as well. Motorcycles, it is big enough problem that when you can't see a car, okay? And it's always amazing to me how a big car can hide itself alongside. You look in your mirror, you don't see him on your side mirror, you can't see him in your back mirror, but he's there, okay? And that's what we call the blind spot in your car. And so if you can hide a big car like that, if you can't see a big car like that for blind spots or whatever the case may be, you got to be extra careful and be extra vigilant when you're dealing with motorcycles, okay? Motorcycles are just, and plus with motorcycles, sometimes motorcyclists don't always drive responsibly, because sometimes, because they're small, they can weave in and out of traffic, and sometimes causing some problems. You just make sure that you be careful out there. We had on yesterday, I believe that was a motorcycle accident crash that happened on Airport Boulevard. And again, that is something you probably need to be very, very vigilant about and looking out for. Okay? Looking out for. Also, while we're on that subject, it is also reported yesterday, and I don't have the full details on this, and I don't understand this story, but a man was hit by a train on 17th Avenue, at the graffiti bridge trestle there, and he was hit, ran over by the train. Somehow, thank God, he survived it, and for whatever reason. But why? I don't know. I don't know why, how that happened, and why it did happen. Okay, it did happen. Now, those are the headlines that happen around our community. One other note I just want to say, because this is pretty close to us, a Evergreen, Alabama, which you don't get a lot of tragedy out of it, but it was reported in the news late last night, reported in the news that 2 people was killed and 4 people was injured in a house fire in Evergreen, Alabama. So that's pretty close to burnt corn, y'all. Pretty close to burnt corn. And I know a lot of folks in Evergreen. So if you got folks up and around Evergreen, Alabama, you might want to check in on that. Okay, you might want to check in on that as well. Okay, and lastly, that they sentenced a Pensacola woman, and I'm saving this for last because these are the things you got to be careful about, because tax season is coming up, y'all. Tax season is coming up in January, and a lot of folks out there doing your taxes. So be careful again about getting your tax done, because some folks can do them and try to cheat for you. That's not going to work. Cheating don't work. Okay, you can't. Life is not a shortcut. Okay, so they sentenced a lady that was doing some unscrupulous things with tax forms, and also stealing people IDs and filing taxes for them. Well, she got 2 years for 20 counts of tax fraud and tax ID theft, okay, for unauthorized tax. So remember this quote, I always tell folks all the time, if it sounds too good to be true,
Navigating heart care can be challenging. Baptist makes it better with the latest treatments and innovations and the area's largest, most experienced heart team ready to create a care plan just for you. All when you need us most. Let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare. Navigating heart care can be challenging. Baptist makes it better with the latest treatments and innovations and the area's largest, most experienced heart team ready to create a care plan just for you. All when you need us most. Let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
Hey, Escambia. Today, we're talking trash, specifically bulk waste.
Starting July 1st, 2023, bulk waste service will be called for pickup. You can schedule a pickup by calling the ECUA Customer Service Department anytime before 2 p.m. on the day prior to your normal pickup day. Bulk pickup is still included at no additional charge.
Check out ecua.fl.gov for more information.
Know what to throw, 850.
From affordable home equity lines and home loans to high-yield checking that pays 5.05% APY, Pen Air combines innovative banking with a commitment to our community. Pen Air Credit Union. Join us.
The Service Center at Pete Moore Chevrolet can maintain the life of your vehicle regardless of make or model. Our certified factory-trained technicians have the expertise for domestic and import vehicles. And the Pete Moore Advantage provides you complimentary services whenever you stop by. Our Collision Center accepts all insurance, provides lifetime warranties on all workmanship and paint, and offers a deductible reimbursement program. So when you need service or repair, let the Pete Moore Service and Collision Center work for you.
Hi, I'm Jessica Ford. I'm the owner of FD Builds. Energy efficiency is very important in today's market. With higher interest rates and rising costs, it's important that home buyers maintain their bottom line of affordability. The nice thing about natural gas and natural gas appliances is that it's more energy efficient than their electrical counterparts, and at the end of the day, utility bills are lower. Our relationship with the Pensacola Energy team is phenomenal. From customer service to their field teams, it's just a seamless process. We love Pensacola Energy.
Looking to start a career or change your current career? Pensacola State College is the place for you. Choose from short-term, high-demand career and technical education programs ranging from commercial vehicle driving to medical assisting. Call 850-484-2000.
Singing telegram! Happy, happy holiday cash scratch-offs. That looks like a great gift for everyone on my list, including me.
Oh, watch out! The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
You are invited to the 37th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, Monday, January the 19th, 11 o'clock a.m. in downtown Pensacola. This year's powerful theme is With Unity, We Won't Turn Back. Register your group today. Entries are placed by the date your application is received, so don't wait. For registration forms, email the mlking2020@gmail.com or call 850-378-9242. Join us as we honor the life, the legacy, and the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
All right, good morning, everybody. You got Vernon this morning. Get your coffee. I done had my coffee already, y'all. I done had my coffee, and we done talked about what's going on in and around the world and in and around your state and in and around the community this morning. You know, he upset with me because my mic is off. I have to make sure that the mic is off. My mic automatic cut off, so I have to make sure I have to push it back on when I hit a certain button here. But anyway, y'all, good morning, good morning. I just want to say again, I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. And as I was saying, and my mic was off, I know you couldn't, most of it don't read lips, but I was wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. And we only got, what, 2 more, well, about a day and a quarter, maybe a day and a quarter of shopping left, okay? A day and a quarter shopping. You got all day today. And I believe stores will be beginning to close tomorrow around 5 o'clock time frame. So you don't have a full day tomorrow. So you got about a day and a half of shopping. If you hadn't done your shopping, go ahead. Don't do, there's probably some good deals out there now, because most folks start their shopping way back sometime in August and September. And what about those gifts, y'all? Let's talk about this for a minute. Sometimes you already have gifts that you don't know that you have. You ever got a gift that you probably did not that you didn't want, but you didn't need or you didn't appreciate and so forth? You can start what we call regifting. You can take that same gift and regift it. And in fact, one of the things you may not want to do is that maybe you want to regift it to the same person, and try it this year. Just regift it to the same person that gave it to you and see if they recognize it, okay? But I wouldn't do that if I were you. I would, cause anytime anybody give you anything, it's a gift. So they're thinking about you. So even though if you didn't need it or if you didn't want it, maybe perhaps then it might be an opportunity to regift it to somebody else, rather than having that laying around and doing nobody any good, okay? So if you don't, you know what they always say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So somebody can use that gift. So think about it. Money is always a good gift, y'all. Money is always a good gift, okay? And let me tell you why. If you don't know what to give a person, okay, if you don't know what to give a person, give them money, okay? Give them money, because if you give a person money, then they can buy what they need or what they want. Sometimes it is really hard to anticipate or to try to predict what somebody else wants. Sometimes you're good at it. Sometimes you be on target, and sometimes it really doesn't matter, because whatever you give anybody, it is much appreciated anyway. So it's probably something you hadn't already had and stuff like that. But with me, I've always wrestled with every year, because you had 100 people you have to buy gifts for her anyway. And you have to figure out, oh, what I think I do this and what I do that. And I tell a story in my book that I wrote about the boy from Burnt and my experience in trying to buy gifts and not knowing what to do and in that and I want to tell you this story because it's not only is it funny, but it was stupid. And well, it wasn't stupid on my part because I didn't know. I was just so inexperienced at buying Christmas gifts for girls. I didn't know what to do. But anyway, I had this experience. And this girl, I was going to buy her Christmas gift, couldn't figure out what to buy her. And I saw this. Commercial on TV about a portable hairdryer. And so I said, oh, okay, she probably want a portable hairdryer. Okay, she probably want a portable hairdryer. And so I went and bought this girl a portable hairdryer. And she wanted jewelry and stuff like that, girly stuff. I didn't have no idea. And so, and she opened up that, it was in a big old box. And I never forget, I thought she was going to be happy. Man, she opened that box and she was so disappointed and started crying because I gave her that hairdryer. She started crying. And then her little sister came, and I didn't know why. I really didn't. Being 17, 18 years old, you didn't know. But her sister her little sister came in there. Ooh, you made my sister cry. I'm gonna go tell my daddy. I want to tell my daddy. And I didn't know. I didn't know. But anyhow, I learned from that mistake, and I went back and talked to my mom and my sister. Boy, you did what? You bought a hairdryer. You couldn't find nothing. How come you didn't ask us to tell us about what you need to buy a girl for Christmas? Hell, I was trying to, But anyway, that was a horrible story. Okay, that was a horrible story. And I want to tell another Christmas story that Robert Hill tells all the time. And remember that we grew up. Hill and I grew up very similarly. We grew up poor in the country, and you have to order your stuff. And he said he had to order his stuff for Christmas from what's the name of that catalog that I can't think of the name of it, but it wasn't Sears or Roebuck or anything like that. It was none of those. One that came out of. But anyhow, he ordered his stuff, and he knew and he timed it very well in order for it to get there for Christmas and so forth. And he said that he had this year, he had particularly worked hard and ordered all his gifts, ordered for himself, ordered for his mama, and ordered for everybody, okay? And sure enough, when you're getting the packages in the mail, and so he used to wait out there for his package. He said this particular year, had all the packages in the mail, and a drunk came by, ran over the mailbox, and crushed all of his Christmas gifts. Yep, he said he had a bad Christmas that year. So, because he didn't have any Christmas gift, he didn't have, number one, he didn't have any more money to buy anything else again. And number two, had he had the money, he didn't have time to order it again. So, anyway, those are some funny stories that we had for Christmas time. So, I know you got some funny stories that happened to you all during the Christmas holidays. So you need to think about all the fun times at Christmas time, and I just tell folks that Christmas time is always a special time of year. So make it special for your children, okay? Just make it special for your children. Christmas is also the first time that when I found out about Santa Claus, I was so hurt. I couldn't believe. When I looked at my parents, when I looked at my parents, I couldn't believe. I just know my parents always would tell me the truth. Always would tell the truth. And I looked at my parents one time, and when I found out the real truth about Santa Claus, I was really, really hurt, y'all, about that. Because you know what hurt me about that? Not the fact. I'll be honest with you. It wasn't the fact of Santa Claus, okay? It was the fact that my parents been lying to deceive me all of these years. I just couldn't believe that. But then better judgment took over and says everything is for a good reason, okay? And they told you that because they're trying to make you happy. I fully, eventually, after I got over my hurt about that. And then I decided that I did understand why they did that. Okay, did understand why they did that. And that's then what I understood about lies. And I write about lies in my book. I got a whole chapter in my book about lies, and I said there are three kinds of lies. There's a little white lie, and there's defensive lies, and then there are damn lies. Okay, the three types of lies that I talk about, and so you can understand the types of lies and that people do. Little white lies is like like what your parents do to help you, and just like you tell your wife. She said, did this dress make my butt look big? No, honey. You just try to make people happy with those kind of lies, or lies about the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, stuff like that. Yes, those are the kind of lies that are what it says they are harmless, and therefore the intent of it is to do good. Then there's the second type of lie. You got to read my book to talk about it. Second type of lie I talked about is defensive lies. People would tell lies to defend themselves. What time you came in last night? Oh, it was about 12:30, when you came in at 3:30. Or you did something. You cheat on me? No, baby, I would never cheat on you. That's those defensive lies. So that they increase in intensity as you go along. But then there's also what I call damn lies, and that's what my mom used to call them. These are my mom used to call them peace breaking lies. Okay, lies that intentionally hurt people, lies that deceive people, like we're seeing that going on in this country today. Those are the kind of lies that are hurtful. But anyway, I'm not going to get into all that, because all of that is in my book. I just thought I'd throw that up when I start talking about the subject. Start talking about Christmas today. Also, let me turn a page here. Let me turn a page. I want to talk about the MLK parade just for a minute. I want you all, before we get Shakita coming on. What time is it now? It's about 7:26. Shakita should come on in just a few minutes, talk about ECUA jobs. Okay, ECUA jobs. But anyway, it is time to register for the MLK parade. Okay, it's time to register for the MLK parade. Which parade is going to be on the 19th of January. We know we just had the parade back during Juneteenth last year, and we had it late because of during January we had some predicted going to have some impending inclement weather, and that was the weather a little bit before that snow that we gotten last year, and so the mayors thought it would probably not be a good idea to have it. Turned out though that it was really a good day to have it, but we can't read the future. But anyway, we ended up having it on Juneteenth, which was a bad idea because it was hot out there, y'all. I have to tell you, it was hot out there in that in that hot sun. But my point is, it came around again soon, which is January, which is our normal time. So if you didn't participate, if you paid for your parade last January, if you didn't participate in June, get a hold of the folks at the MFK parade, and they will definitely get you a participation in it that you can join this year. But we people new interest for the parade. It's still time. You still time to sign up for the MLK parade. Parade is only $150. It's only $150 if you want to get into parade, and also vendors if you want to be a vendor of the parade. Okay, want to be a vendor in the parade. So you make sure that you give them a call at 850-378-9242. Okay, I'm gonna repeat the number so you can write it down. We're gonna talk about it some more throughout the program here, so that you make sure that you got the right number and sign up. But right now, I want to talk to Miss Shakita Payne at ECUA. I want to say good morning, Shakita. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you doing this morning?
I am doing well this morning. Welcome to Vernon, this morning. How things have did you get up and run about this morning? Some people get up early and go exercise and do all that kind of stuff. That you see how physically fit I am. I don't, I didn't do all of that this morning.
However, I haven't started that plan yet.
You haven't?
I just got up and started moving so I can get to work.
Yeah. Hey, have you finished your Christmas shopping yet?
Pretty much I have. Mostly everything I did this year was online, so Amazon was a great friend. So mostly everything came through Amazon. Still waiting on a few things to come in, but for the most part I'm done.
You think you're gonna make it before tomorrow? You think the Amazon is gonna be
I
late?
think so. That keeps telling me that it's coming tomorrow. My last few will be here tomorrow. I got some today and a few tomorrow, so I think I should be okay.
All right. You were born and raised in Pensacola, Shakita?
I was born in Georgia, but I was raised here in Pensacola.
Okay. Okay. So you're not really a country. You weren't born in the country, huh?
Well, where I was born in Georgia, it is country.
I mean, you weren't raised. So I tell folks all the time that everything coming full circle. When I was coming up, we had mail order too. Just like Amazon, just like Amazon, and what you're doing now. We had to use Sears and Roebuck, Sears and Roebuck
Oh,
catalogs and Montgomery Wards and Bill Hess. It's the same kind of a thing that people doing today, and we had to
right.
time it to make sure that we get all of the Christmas gifts and everything in, that we don't be late. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Just didn't have the internet then, but you had the book. So hey, yep, you're right about the same.
Yeah, it is. It is about the same. All right then. What about on the ECUA part and jobs? I know people are looking for employment and they're gonna have to pay for these Christmas gifts. In January, some folks looking for new careers. Some folks want to change jobs. And I understand that you guys got a lot of employment out there that we can take advantage of. Can you talk to us about that?
Yes, most definitely. We have quite a few positions on our website. So first off, I'll just say our website is www.ecua.fl.gov, and that's www.ecua.fl for Florida.gov for government. Once you
Okay.
get to our page, you'll click on careers, then current opportunities, and you'll see all the positions that we have posted right now. And right now, I'm on our page right now, and it looks like we have about 9 jobs posted.
Hmm.
Most of them are entry level positions. So if you're looking for maybe becoming a mechanic, we have quite a few mechanic positions open. We have a fleet mechanic. So if you're working on cars or know someone who works on cars, take a look at this position. It is a fleet mechanic 1 or 2, which a one would be more of a trainee type position. You do not have to bring your tools. We will supply every single tool that you need, so you keep all of your tools at home.
Hmm.
The position does start out at, let me make sure I'm right. Actually starts out at 1863 for a trainee position.
Hmm.
So they will show you how to work on all of our vehicles, from our garbage trucks all the way to our vac trucks, any SUVs, vehicles that the other employees may drive. You'll pretty much work on those. And again, it is a Monday through Friday position. So you would be off mostly the weekends. Every now and then they may have to work weekends because of holiday schedules or anything of that nature. But for the most part, you would be off your weekends. Um, and again, this is an entry level position. We have a lift station mechanic position. This position, you'll be working on our lift stations, and we have about 400 lift stations in Escambia County. So you would learn how to work on those different lift stations, fixing the generators, making sure that the pumps are continuing to work. And for those who may not know, the lift stations are those that when you flush your toilet, everything comes to where we need it to go. So you'll be working on those, that type of equipment to make sure that everything flows away from your home, and gets to our water reclamation facilities. This position also starts at 1863 as a trainee position. And again, you don't have to have any tools. They're going to show you how to fix the lift stations, the pumps in the lift stations. And again, just a great opportunities for people who are looking for a career, to start a new career. Those who are coming out of college, out of high school, don't know which way you may want to go. Take a look at ECUA. We have several opportunities available. And again, even for those who may have just graduated college with an engineering degree, we have project engineering positions open as well. So again, our website, www.ecua.fl.gov. Click on careers, then current opportunities, and you'll see the positions that we have open.
All right, we always tell folks there's a difference between a job and a career, and one of the things you guys offer are careers as well.
Yes.
You know, and
Yes.
now also, do you also have temporary jobs?
Somewhat. For our utility service tech trainee positions, that position right now, one of them is on our website, is for Region South, which is in Warrington.
Mm-hmm.
They do hire temp employees for the position. However, it's more of like a temp to hire
Right.
position,
Okay.
not just a temporary position or even a part time, more of a temp to hire.
Yeah, because y'all use those temp services when they apply for temporary jobs. They use those temp services that they
Yes.
apply directly to those temp services, right?
Right. We ask them to apply on our website first, and
Okay.
then the supervisors will, of course, take a look at all the applications and resumes. Because if you are selected for a position, one of the temp positions, and they do want to hire you on full time, we will need your application on file.
Right. Okay. Very good. Now, these jobs have benefits. Am I correct?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Okay.
So, of course, you would be eligible for your health, dental, vision, life insurance benefits. You'll also earn 8 hours of vacation leave every single month, as well as 10 hours of sick leave every single month. You'll also be a
Really?
part of the Florida retirement.
Hmm. 8 hours of sick leave. I mean, 10 hours sick leave every month, and 8 hours of personal leave every month.
Yes.
Man, that's a
Yes.
good deal.
Very, you can't beat it. You cannot beat it at all.
Wow.
And of course, for me, being a part of that Florida retirement system, you're
Yeah.
only putting in 3% to your retirement. ECUA make a contribution as well. So you really cannot beat that. To me, the Florida retirement system is one of the best retirement plans around. And it's, you can take that wherever you go. So if you are coming from another governmental entity in the state of Florida that had FRS, you can bring that over to ECUA, and those same years that you got in that other company will count for ECUA as well.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what about a probationary period? How long you have to serve to be permanent, if you will, after your probationary period?
Sure. So our probationary period is 1 full year,
Hmm.
but do keep in mind that if you're doing your job, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, you're catching on, that 1 year will go by so quickly you won't even realize it.
Yeah. Yeah. We had the same thing in the federal government, but
Hmm.
the good part about it, you once you're there, you got a great job and you got protection. You just can't just be fired for anything. You have to be
Right.
fired for cause and so. But that's a great thing.
That it really is. It really is. And like I said, as long as you're coming onto your job every day, doing what you're supposed to do, you're not playing around, you're not making so many mistakes that you're just not paying attention. They will definitely work with you. They will train you, help you succeed so that way you can advance within the company and not just stay stagnant in that one spot. You'll have those opportunities to grow within the company, to learn different skills, move around in the company. So you don't have to stay in that one job forever. You can
Yeah.
look and see if there's something else in the company that you're interested in, apply for that, and you just may get it.
Absolutely. The only thing they need to do is go on to the website, go on your computer, go. In fact, you can go on your phone.
Yes.
www.ecua.fl.gov. And then
Yes.
when you get there, just select what the tab is,
Careers.
jobs, right?
Careers. Yes. So click
Careers.
on
Okay, just
careers
click
tab.
on
Yeah.
careers, and then there's
Hmm.
a whole list of jobs that you can apply for, and they can apply for it online. And one of the good things about it, uh, they can apply for as many jobs they qualify for. Am I correct?
That is correct. And that's one thing I do tell people, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Take a look at everything that we have open and apply for everything that we have, because you just never know. You may be thinking one position and this other position may be the better fit for you, and you
Yeah.
have the experience to do it. You have your foot in the door, you have a position at ECUA.
Okay. Now, one other question I need to ask you is that can you, for lack of a better word, can you pre-apply? In other words, I need a job. I'm a nuclear scientist, and maybe you only got one working there at ECU, and it's been filled for the last 20 years. And but I I want to work for ECUA. Can I
Hmm.
go ahead and is there a mechanism so I can put my application in, my interest card in there, just in case that person retires from that job? I want to be in the hopper to apply for it, even though it might be 10 months later. Is that a possibility?
It definitely is. Once you go to our website and click on that careers tab, there are two tabs for our positions. One says current opportunities. Those are all the positions that we're looking for to fill right now. Right below that, there's one, I think it says job descriptions. Those are all the jobs that we have at ECUA, whether they're open or not.
Oh,
So
okay.
if it's a particular job that you're interested in, you can go to the job description tab, click on that tab, and then you can search for the position, and then you can put an interest card in there. So anytime
Hmm.
that position comes open within a year's time span, you will get an email alert letting you know that we are accepting applications at that time for that position.
Wow. Okay. You can't beat that. Okay.
You can't miss. There's no way to miss out on anything.
Well, very good, very good. Now, y'all, this is a weekly thing. If you think of your questions, you got any question that you want to ask Shakita, her time is 7:30 every Tuesday morning, so she can keep you informed on what's going on at ECUA. Also, well, I know this might not be in your area there, but I know people have questions because it is Christmas time, and if they need special pickup because people got more trash than normal for the holidays, or they putting out old stuff on the curb and stuff like that. Can we have somebody to talk about that maybe after Christmas, or maybe
Yeah,
I don't know what you who do you need to deal with stuff like that?
that would actually be on our customer service side. So
Mm.
I will definitely talk with our director, Gabe Brown, and see if we can get someone to come on with me to talk
Yeah,
about.
please do that. Yeah, have Gabe to come on and talk about that as well
I
because
sure will.
that's something that people are gonna need for the
Right.
holidays, and
Most
not only for the
definitely.
holidays, but also, Shakita, they got when you start trimming your trees back, and there's a certain time you put stuff on the curve, and there's certain days that they pick up uh, old couches and stuff like that. Certain days they pick up vegetation stuff, and then we need to know that how to make sure that they just don't just pick it up, and because you have to be cut in a certain piles and stuff like that. We want to make sure that we can pass that information on to folks
Yes,
on
most
how to do that.
definitely. I'll definitely be sure that I have someone with me so that way we can talk about that as well. Because that is, you're right. People need to know that so that way they don't get missed or just don't have that information. We want to make sure that the community is well informed of anything that's going on with ECUA that they need to know, especially when it comes down to sanitation pickups.
Yeah.
We want to be sure that we have that information out to the community. So I will definitely be sure to have someone with me to talk about that.
Yeah, 'cause I had something happen to me like that. 'Cause I didn't know I had some trees trimmed one time, and they
Hmm.
piled, and whoever did it didn't tell me I had to cut it in some piles, and I piled it
Uh,
upside the road, and I just thought, what the hell? They didn't come out and
yeah.
pick it up, and a week left, they didn't come out and pick it up, and another week, they didn't come out and pick it up. I didn't
Wow.
know I was supposed to call, but then
Yeah.
next thing I know, the county inspector come down and said, you got to move this stuff, and I said,
Oh
so
no.
then he told me what the rules were, and then I had to get it cut up and stuff like that. But it's nice to know that stuff.
Yes, most definitely, most definitely. And people need to know that so that way you don't have those types of issues. So yes, we will definitely have someone on to talk about that as well.
All right, we're gonna come. You're gonna come back on next Tuesday. You and Gabe, I'm
Not
assuming.
next Tuesday. I will be on vacation
Oh,
next Tuesday. So, but
yeah.
in January, I will be back on that first week in January.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to share with us this morning?
No, that's all that I have. Again, just go to our website, www.ecua.fl.gov. Click on careers, then current opportunities, and you'll see all of those positions that we have open right now.
All righty then. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for coming on, okay? And
Sure,
you
thank
know what
you.
they say, I'll see you next year.
Yes, indeed. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas.
Okay, you too. Thank you so much,
Thank
y'all.
you.
All
You're
right, y'all.
welcome.
That's Miss
Bye-bye.
Shakita Payne, y'all, of ECUA. So if you want information about jobs or whatever you need to do, just go to again www.ec. You only sometime right now it's so sophisticated you don't even have to put the www in there. Anyway, ecua.fl.gov and determine what the types of jobs that you have. Okay. If you want to select for the jobs. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm gonna have to take another commercial break here, but when we come back, we're going to be talking about some more stuff about the community news, and hopefully around the 8 o'clock time frame, we'll be talking to Mr. Jerry McIntosh and Mayor D.C. Reeves as well. Okay? All right, y'all. You got me. Tell everybody I'm on, and don't go anywhere.
I remember these. Will I have the money to send my kid to college? Well, that's specific. How long has that been there? 7-letter word for a bank that helps you reach your goals.
Synovus. Order for Synovus?
Thank you.
Are you Synovus?
Yes.
Are you gonna ask or should I?
A solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Let's talk about your potential today.
Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home has been in business since 1913. Hi, I'm David Hawkins, the owner of Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, saying we are a full-service funeral home. We offer pre-need funeral planning. We have a newly remodeled chapel and conference facility. Stop by and see us today. We have 9 vehicles, all waiting to service you. At Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, we appreciate your stopping by. On behalf of all of our family here at Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, thank you so much for allowing our family to serve you.
Viola's Menswear, 2727 West Cervantes Street, Pensacola, Florida. Gentlemen, fine clothing at an affordable price. Suits starting at $139. Dress, shoes, hats, and accessories. Here at Viola's Menswear, 2727 West Cervantes Street in Pensacola, Florida. Call today at 429-7146, 2727 West Cervantes Street in Pensacola, Florida.
Are you searching for a great bank in Pensacola? Your search ends here with Bank of Pensacola. At Bank of Pensacola, we go beyond just being a bank. We prioritize exceptional customer service to meet all your banking needs. Whether you're interested in our checking or savings accounts, CDs, IRAs, or auto and home loans, or even credit cards, we have the perfect solutions for you. Visit us today for more information.
For surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy in Pensacola today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I still have a dream.
The Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, live on Blab TV, downtown Palafox Street in Pensacola.
It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
You don't want to miss the citywide celebration, downtown Palafox Street in Pensacola, live on Blab TV.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up.
Singing telegram! Happy, happy holiday cash scratch-offs. That looks like a great gift for everyone on my list, including me.
Oh, watch out! The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
You are invited to the 37th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, Monday, January the 19th, 11 o'clock a.m. in downtown Pensacola. This year's powerful theme is With Unity, We Won't Turn Back. Register your group today. Entries are placed by the date your application is received, so don't wait. For registration forms, email the mlking2020@gmail.com or call 850-378-9242. Join us as we honor the life, the legacy, and the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. It is Christmas Eve, if you will. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. Most folks going to be off on Christmas Eve. We got a long weekend, y'all, starting. Christmas Day is on Thursday. Trump gave the federal workers Friday off as a holiday, and tomorrow as a holiday. It's a gift to them to give them 2 days off. That was mighty nice of you, Mr. President. I know Mr. Porter would make sure, I appreciate I say that, but thank you, Mr. President, for those federal workers. The post office will be open tomorrow, and it also will be open Friday, even though they are federal workers, but they are the exception to the rule, okay? But hopefully we have a long, nice, planned weekend this year. If you're traveling out there, I need you to be very careful out there, whether you're out there on the road or you flying. Get to the airport early. There's a lot of weather conditions that might affect your travel plans, whether you're driving or whether you're flying this Christmas. So get out early and try to leave early in order you can come back safely. Okay, you can come back safely. All right, y'all. Let's talk about a little bit about some of the things that are going on in our community. First thing, let's talk about I want to talk about the Gospel Soul Bowl, okay? The Gospel Soul Bowl. It is, come on, how am I? There it is, the Gospel Soul Bowl. But anyway, the Gospel Soul Bowl is going to be in February, y'all. I mean, in January, on January the 4th, if you will, on January the 4th. We got the Gospel Soul Bowl. Anybody need to get a hold of Dr. Edisdale or anybody that's in that organization and get their tickets. Tickets only $30. They're going to be $35 at the door. And I think this event going to be held at the First Baptist Church of Warrenton there at 105 Gulf Beach Highway, where Dr. Jane Miller is the pastor there as well. The doors is going to be open at 4 o'clock, and they're going to start the event around 5 o'clock, and they got a long line of entertainers that something you don't want to miss. I want to come back and I want to talk about that as well. Also, the Ella Jordan, the Ella L. Jordan Museum, y'all. The Ella L. Jordan Museum is going to be holding an essay contest, okay? Ella Jordan Museum is going to be holding an essay contest. You need to get a hold. Tell your kids, these are high schools, these are students there. When we talked to Walter Gully last week, he was going to send me some information on it so I can display it so that, we are visual people, right? We have to be able to see what we're looking at. But anyway, you need to get your children involved. It's a 500 to 700 page essay. The first prize is going to be $500. Okay, first prize is $500. Second prize is $300, and the third prize is $100. And the subject matter is going to be on Black History and MLK. So make sure that you get a hold of the Ella Jordan Museum, okay? The Ella Jordan Museum, and let them and give you the instructions on what you need to to know. Okay. Also, Kwanzaa. We're going to be celebrating Kwanzaa. You're all celebrating Kwanzaa on Sunday, this coming Sunday. This Sunday, December the 28th, down at the Kukua Institute. And it's going to start around 4 o'clock. And we're going to be honoring Napoleon Williams. Okay, so you definitely don't want to miss that as well. Also, we had another. I got something in yesterday. I didn't have time to put it up on my thing, the graphics yet, but they also will be, the Kukua Institute will also be honoring a guy by the name of Junior Cook. Okay, let me take this off for a minute, and so that I can talk about Junior Cook. Have Horns Will Travel. This is the biography of a guy by the name of Junior Cook. He's a Pensacola native, y'all. And there's a book tour we're going to be talking about. They're launching the book. And it's also going to be at the Kukua Institute, which is located at 300 North Root Street. And it's going to be on today, okay? Today at 6 p.m. So you might want to schedule yourself to get down there today. And it's going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. 6 to 8 p.m. tonight. It's a book tour and a biography of Pensacola's own Junior Cook. He was a great jazz person, and he's a Pensacola native. And this book, I believe, is by Courtney M. Nero, and he talks about the the lives and times of Junior Cook. Okay, the lives and times of Junior Cook. But I know one thing we're gonna have this week. We're gonna have some beautiful weather. I can tell you that right now. We have some real beautiful weather going on this week. The weatherman is going to be in the 70s. Little chance of rain on Christmas Day, which is Thursday. It's gonna be in the low 70s. Okay, it's gonna be in the low 70s. So we definitely will have a beautiful day. I still want you to make sure that you register for the MLK parade. Okay, register for the MLK parade. Let me give you the rundown. Okay, let me give you the rundown of the MLK activities this weekend. Okay, weekend of January, if you will. Okay, let me give you a rundown here. The rundown for the whole weekend, which is going to start on Thursday, and all the activities for the MLK CCC will be held at the Zion Hope Primitive Baptist Church. Okay, the Primitive Baptist Church that's located at 201 West Leonard Street, right here in Pensacola, Florida, where the Reverend Brandon Mason is our pastor there at Zion Hope. But starting on Thursday, Thursday, January the 15th, we will kick off the MLK weekend with the youth and the young adult, what we call the youth and young adult night. It starts at 7 p.m. It starts at 7 p.m. Okay? And on Friday, on Saturday, not Friday, on Saturday. I'm sure there's some events going to be on Friday. I just don't have any information about it, but if they are going to be unrelated. It's going to be unrelated to the MLK commission. But on Saturday, we have our annual MLK prayer breakfast. Okay, on Saturday we have the MLK prayer breakfast, which is also going to be located at the Zion Hope Baptist Church there, and it starts at 8 o'clock. And you may want to go ahead and get your tickets. Now I think the tickets is only like $20, something like that. I'm not sure, but if you want to buy a table and support the event in buying a table, you most certainly are welcome to do that. I think the tables like it's only like $160. If you're a business, you might want to sponsor a table, and allow some unfortunate person that wants to be there but can't afford to be there, and you can sponsor that table for them. On Saturday night as well, we are going to have the Living the Dream event, which is going to be at the Brownsville Community Center, and that is certainly a worthwhile event to go to. So you might want to check that out as well. On Sunday afternoon, we will have the MLK religious service starting at 3 o'clock. It's also going to be located at the Zion Hope Baptist Church, okay? And, of course, on Monday, that's parade day on Monday. Now, you know we're having 3 parades in Pensacola, and in the area, in our viewing and listening area. Let me put it that way. In our viewing and listening area, there's also other activities outside of our area, like in Mobile and Fort Walton Beach and stuff like that. But in our immediate area, we are going to have 3 different parades starting in Santa Rosa County at 9 a.m. on Monday morning, which is the 19th of January. The Santa Rosa County and Milton folks are having their MLK parade starting at 9 a.m. down on Stewart Street, I believe, on Stewart Street. And once that parade is finished, they will have their also annual MLK block party, if they will, at Chester Pruitt Park over there. So you might want to participate in that. WBQP will also carry that parade live, okay, and we'll replay it back as well for the Milton Parade. At 11 o'clock, Pensacola Parade is going to be happening in Pensacola, excuse me, at 11 o'clock. Good morning. I got the mayor. Good morning, Mayor. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
I am well. I was hoping you were going to zoom in, but this is just as good. How you doing this morning?
Good, man. Yeah, sorry, I'm kind of on the move with Christmas stuff moving around. I got meetings all morning. So.
Just stand by for 1 minute.
I thought it was just a call in.
All right. Okay, no problem. Just stand by for 1 minute. Let me finish up what I was telling about the MLK parade, and then I get right to you. Okay. Okay. But on Monday, folks, on Monday, January the 19th, we are going to have the MLK parade downtown Pensacola. We're going to have a little bit of change in the route, and we're going to talk about the route, and we talk about that all along. But it's 11 a.m. We are going to be broadcasting that program that's live, but we want folks to come on downtown because we want as many able-bodied people they can to come down. And nothing like having a great parade, y'all. You know, hopefully the weather cooperate, and we will have a fun time downtown Pensacola. When that parade finishes, okay, we also, let me add this in. We are going to be doing it live on WBQP TV and Blab TV as well. We contracted Blab TV we partner. Let me put it this way. I'd say we contract because I have to pay for it. But anyway, we partner with Blab TV in order that we can get a wide viewership of the parade. So you can, if you're over in Mobile or you're over in Fort Walton Beach or you're over in somewhere else that you can't get WBQP, you still be able to get it on Blab TV as well. And we're also going to play the program back several times, okay? Now, once that program is over with, then we're gonna wrap it up with the Cantonment MLK Parade, which WBQP will do that one live as well and play it back. So you got 3 parades. You got the Milton Parade, the Pensacola Parade, and the Cantonment Parade as well. All right, y'all, good morning. I got Mayor D.C. Reed. Mayor, good morning. Thank you for indulging me for waiting for a little while. But, yeah, we got a Zoom link when you can zoom in. You don't have to call in anymore. Folks want to see our mayor's face every day, okay?
Sounds great. Yeah, no, sorry about that. It used to be 8 a.m. on the radio, and then, we'll make that adjustment. Happy to do it.
Oh, yeah, well, now you got radio and TV, so we got both of them, okay? And by the way, congratulations. I saw that you refiled to rerun. Is that true? You want to verify that?
It is.
All right.
It is, yeah, I know. We did that last week, and looking for it. I've been saying, I feel like, it is an 8-year job in the sense that, you try to set a vision for the city and have important initiatives, and, things take time to get across the finish line. So we got a lot of exciting projects upcoming. So
you've been
getting after it and get on the campaign trail.
You have been multitasking. You got so many projects. You got what we used to say in the country, Mayor. We say you got so many irons in the fire going on at one time. Right. I tell you, it's hard to keep track of everything that you're doing.
Well, when I ran the first time, that's what I told every person I knocked on every door. I said, hey, some things we might agree on, some things we might disagree on, but what I'll tell you is, we're going to give you everything we got. And that the strong mayor form of government, when it changed in 2010, I firmly believe that the mayor's job, it's to be the CEO of the city, the operator of the city. It's not like it was when I was growing up, where the mayor was more of a ceremonial mayor. You would do ribbon cuttings and things like that, where the city council was really in charge. Now with this new form of government, the expectation should be on me and on this job that we're moving it forward aggressively every day, because that's the advantage of this type of government. And so yeah, I mean, listen, if you think if just the airport expansion, or just Hollis T. Williams, or just Fricker Center, just Baptist, any of those things would be, a big generational project. And I'm certainly proud, and it's the hard work of our team, that we got 4, 5, 6 of these projects going all at once, and I certainly want to be able to see them through.
Absolutely. Now, did I hear correctly that you did get the go ahead and the city council to reimagine Palafox? Can you talk about that?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a good time to talk about it, with the parades coming up here, and us having to adjust the route. But Palafox Street hasn't had any investment in about 26 years. It was the last significant investment in Palafox. And, whether it's a stadium, whether it's a road, whether it's a amphitheater, things like that, city infrastructure, after 25, 30 years, when it's something that's as used as Palafox Street is, and that's not just by residents, that's by visitors. It's what, you've been around this market a long time. I mean, from a tourism perspective, people come in from the beach, that's how we attract them here. And then in downtown, we say, hey, well, we got a good downtown, we got restaurants, we got this, let's come check it out. So it really is the crown jewel of our downtown that everybody gets to use. There's no admission, cost is free. You can walk around and people watch or window shop or whatever you want to do on Palafox. And so to have that asset, we have to continue to invest in it. We can't let it fall to the wayside. And so the big important parts of this, I believe, are right now, Palafox is not ADA accessible. If you're in a wheelchair, you cannot get around Palafox Street.
Really?
Which, is not really something. Yes, I mean, we have crosswalks that are 45-degree angles. We have crosswalks that actually ramps that go right into iron metal pipes that are holding up the awnings, where you'd have to go around them. So it is not ADA compliant, and so I think that's a very, very important thing that I think everybody in our city should be able to enjoy Palafox, not just folks who are not in the wheelchair or need assistance in some way. Second is stormwater. We all know with flooding issues, and we've tried to attack this. We have more dollars invested in stormwater mitigation and retention right now in our city than any point ever in the history of the city, when you include Hollis T. And Palafox is a big part of that. We're actually going to be able to take another 100,000 gallons of basically an inch of rain could fall on the new Palafox, and it would be absorbed immediately. That wouldn't otherwise before. And if you know the history of our downtown, of course you do, but our listeners out there, whether it was 2014 or any other time, it can flood down there very, very quickly. So this is, some people say, oh, well, this is, nice new bricks and all that. And yeah, that's a secondary part of it. But the primary function here is that we've got to continue to invest in the street to allow all people, whether they're in a wheelchair or they're not, to be able to enjoy it, and to make sure that we're storm hardened and storm ready for another 25 years, and to make this investment. So it starts January January 5th. They're actually going to put the fencing out on the 4th. I'm going to announce that at the press conference today. So Sunday, January 4th, they'll start putting some stuff out. It'll still be a little bit accessible, but they're rocking and rolling first hour they can on January 5th, because we want to get that project done as quickly as possible, and they're incentivized to finish it on May 24th. So so it's going to be quick and be aggressive, but that's how we wanted to get it done. We didn't want to put out our businesses for too long.
All right. Now let me ask you something a little more controversial about the drag queen show. Is it still on and popping? In light of that appeal court decision, I don't.
Absolutely. And let's go out at a higher level and say, no, the government will not be deciding and picking winners and losers about freedom of speech in the Constitution at shows. As a matter of fact, you know what the next night is church.
Yeah.
At the Sanger. So in other words, I certainly understand, people's position. Some people may like it. Some people, our job is not to determine as the government whether it's something that I like or something that you like or that you don't like. Is if it's legal and everybody's following the rules, which this completely is, then we are not going to violate the Constitution by telling someone, well, I like that show and I don't like that show. But you start doing that, I mean, you're going to go down. How do you ever recover from that? And we are not going to do that. The city government has never done that at the Sanger. We've had this operator for years and years and years. It's their job to select shows, not ours. So yes, it will be on, and the rights are protected of that show the same way the rights are going to be protected the next night and the next night and the next night by whoever is performing there. So it is an 18+ show. That court decision has no bearing because the show was already 18 and over. I know some folks that are criticizing it may want to leave that detail out, but yes, to your question, that new recent court ruling has absolutely no bearing on this particular show because it was already 18+ and a ticketed event. It's not in a public space and it's not for children.
Yeah, and that's great because it's always been we protect the children. That has never been the issue, but I think some people just didn't want it to happen. But hey, we got a diverse society, and and I understand it was a sellout. So obviously somebody wanted to see it.
Right. So. Well, and that's the great part. You're not required to go. I'm not going. I'm dropping the puck at the Ice Flyers game tonight. So to each their own, right? But yes, we are a diverse community, and we have a constitution that says that there's different freedoms that are allowed. So we should be able to respect everybody's freedoms, and if you want to go, great. If you don't want to go, great. And so it wasn't a decision of whether we would go to the show or not. The decision is, do we want to be protective of people's freedoms that's called for in the Constitution? And the answer to that is yes, on my side, and so show will go on, and it will move forward.
All right. Well, let me turn another page here. Is it holidays? You're coming up to Christmas Eve. So what can we expect for downtown Pensacola? I know y'all get Christmas decoration up. I mean, the accessibility of things going to be open. Talk to me about what's going to be happening in the city of Pensacola over the holidays.
Sure. So for city residents out there, we have announced, it's on our social media. It should be on your calendars. Just from a sanitation standpoint, when does your garbage get picked up? Make sure you're looking at that schedule, going to citypensacola.com, because like we do with holidays, obviously you end up getting delayed a day because some of our hardworking people can go have a little time with their families. So they'll be in City Hall, of course, will be closed as well on Christmas. But yeah, we've got the lights down. It's been beautiful. The weather's been beautiful in downtown Pensacola. We certainly encourage everybody to get out and walk around and enjoy. That weekend after is always very busy. With the market and everything else downtown. But yeah, City of Pensacola, we're in great shape right now. We're a safe community. We've got lots going on, like you said. There'll be our great restaurants bars and all that, all get all their decorations up for the season. A great time to go just walk around and during the day and check out downtown. So if you get time or you're off in these next few days out there, I certainly would encourage it.
All right, Mayor, I wanna hold you up, but I got one last thing that I want to talk about. Sure. Since it's parade, what I call parade season coming up in January. We got the MLK parade, we got the Mardi Gras parade, we had the Christmas parade. We got all parades this time of year. We got a lot of them coming up. Okay, and this is a good time to address this issue because we as a parade folk, we whine about having to pay certain costs of parade, but one of the things that you brought up and your administration brought up that the cost of the parade, and people take a lot of things for granted. People used to think that I had to talk with a lot of folks, and they thought that for some reason that the city or the government put on those parades. They don't. Those parades are put on by individuals, but there's a cost to it. Whenever you put people out, those barriers. Talk about that. I know that the city have now accessed the church. You used to do it for free, but it cost. Explain to your constituencies here that why you had to raise prices on that.
Yeah, well, so first of all, you're absolutely right. One of the biggest misperceptions is what the actual cost of a parade is. Here's what I'll tell you: parades cost anywhere between $50,000 and $100,000 each to the city. So whatever the permit fee is for any parade out there, it is a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the actual cost of the parade to the city. So there's no. I believe at one point the parade fee was something like $500, and it was $75,000 for us to put it on.
Right.
So, and listen, the goal is not to. I mean, that's part of having parades downtown, celebrating amazing holidays like MLK and everything else is part of the city, right? I mean, so that's okay.
Right.
But like everything else, it's a lot more expensive today than it was 20 years ago. To put all of those police officers out, to put all the equipment out, to have all of our public works guys blocking with trucks, and as you know, as well as I do, unfortunately, the way of the world is there's been an increased intensity on the need for safety for parades like this. But unfortunately, like what we saw in New Orleans and all that, and so. Here's what I know. What I care more about is everybody being. I care way less about money and who pays what and any of that than I care about everybody being safe. That's what's the number one most important. So that's why we haven't. I'd like to talk to our county officials, our regional officials about. When we attract people downtown, that shouldn't just be the city's cost to have to cover. I mean, it's something that brings people to our entire community, and is a benefit to our entire community. That being said. We haven't tried to put a hard line in the sand on anything because ultimately safety is first, and no one's going to care what the permit fee was or how much the police officers cost. No one's going to care if we had an unsafe incident take place, right? So job one for us, job 1, 2, and 3 actually are making sure everybody's safe when they go enjoy those parades. And then we'll figure out all the other stuff. But yeah, it's about, I would tell you now, especially for the larger volume parades, it's about $100,000, close to $100,000 a day.
Yeah. All right, Mayor. Anything else you want to share?
No, that's it. Hey, I hope you guys have a great holiday, great Christmas. Thank you for the opportunity for coming on, and I'll come in person on Zoom next time, so you can talk right to me. I'll be ready to go for the next year.
We will do that, man. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you next year. We'll be on next Tuesday. Are you available next Tuesday?
Yeah, I think Cliff's coming on, my associate city administrator, next Tuesday, and then I'll join you the first of the year.
All right. Thank you, Mayor, so much. Folks,
hey,
this is our Mayor D.C. Reeve, y'all. Thank you so much, Mayor. All right, y'all. I gotta get to. Probably need to take a commercial break, but I got to get to my good buddy. Me and Jerry been knowing each other. How long we been knowing each other? We've been knowing each other for eons.
40-some years.
40-some years. In fact, for disclosure, folks realize that we was in business together. If you remember the Prestige video. That was us. That was me, Jerry, and James Thompson
Yeah.
had Prestige Video back in the day, and we did a lot of weddings. And in fact, Jerry, you're talking about these weddings. I'm surrounded here in my office here. We was doing weddings on VHS tapes. I
Yeah.
have many of those tapes to this day, those wedding tapes. So if you guys that hired Prestige Video back in the day for your wedding back in the 80s, chances are I might have a copy of it. So you might want to contact me if you want a digitized copy of it. What about you, Jay? You still got any of those tapes?
Mine got destroyed. I had them in my shed out there, in my cooling shed, and when that tornado hit on the backside of my house, and
Yeah.
my shed, all my stuff got wet in there, and it just destroyed it. And I was, that was really something else because I didn't expect it to
Wow.
be that bad. Yeah, but it destroyed all my day. I had a whole bunch as well of weddings that we had done and pictures as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, because you
we
would
did
do the photographs of them as well. Sure
yeah,
did.
yeah, we did photography, video, and photography.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hey, Jerry, I need to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, let's talk about the ways of the world today, and then on the political front, and so forth and so forth. If you hang in with me, we'll be right back, y'all. Okay.
Navigating healthcare is hard. Baptist makes it better. With convenient locations, easy scheduling, and skilled, compassionate doctors. All when you need us most. The next time you need care, let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
Some mobile companies make it hard to get a good deal. But at Cox Mobile, we know there's a better way to save. A smarter way. That's why we run on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability without breaking the bank. You'll pay as low as $30 per line. It's a win-win. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile.
Stash your money somewhere smarter. With 5.05% APY, Pen Air's high yield checking puts your money to work and earning big. Pen Air Credit Union. Join us.
Are you looking to start your education or to change careers? Pensacola State College is the place for you. We offer bachelor's degrees, 2-year degrees, career certificates, and more, ranging from nursing to welding. Apply today, pensacolastate.edu.
For surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy in Pensacola today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Singing telegram! Happy holiday cash scratch-offs. That looks like a great gift for everyone on my list, including me.
Oh, watch out! The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
You are invited to the 37th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, Monday, January the 19th, 11 o'clock a.m. in downtown Pensacola. This year's powerful theme is With Unity, We Won't Turn Back. Register your group today. Entries are placed by the date your application is received, so don't wait. For registration forms, email the mlking2020@gmail.com or call 850-378-9242. Join us as we honor the life, the legacy, and the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
All right, y'all. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Jerry, what's going on around the political world here?
A whole lot. Especially with your president.
My president, yeah,
Your
yeah,
president.
yeah. Our president, you know, Jerry and Mr. Porter always getting on me about disrespecting the president. Okay, and I know he's right. I should not. I disrespect the person, but not the office itself. I think
Right.
respect is earned, and if the man that's sitting in the office doesn't respect the office of the presidency, so why should we respect the person that is considered the president itself? He's the leading person in the United States of America. He should set the example, and I just, to me, it's just hard for me to respect the man. I can't respect the man because I think that United States of America, we deserve better than what we get in here, Jerry. It just absolutely. I don't know. Don't get me started on it because he might be right. I might be something from DTS.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you're right. The presidency itself, is a respectable position. But the man that's holding the presidency, is one of the most vile people probably in the history of this country. Yeah. And I didn't say he was the only one. I said one of, because there's been some vile people before him that was presidents of the United States, such as the one that showed the birth of a nation in the White House.
That was Andrew. That was Wilson. That was Wilson. He was bad.
Yeah.
Andrew Jackson was bad, but we had a lot of bad presidency. I'm
we
wondering,
had,
one day somebody can do a study on who was the worst president we ever had. And I think Trump going to be in the top number 2.
He would be at the number 1 list, because you're talking about a criminal in the White House that's hold the presidency of the United States. You're talking about adjudicated rapist that's holding the presidency of the United States. If we respect the position of the president, then this person should never have set foot in the White House, because he's a stain and upon the American society and in the world at large. So he has done so much damage to the image of America and what it once image, and I say image because it has not been the kind of country it could have been. But that's why we always saying moving toward a more perfect union. When you see somebody dismantling the Voting Rights Act, dismantling all of the agencies that has kept America safe over the years, when you see greed, when you are violating the emoluments clause and just making money head over fist, and then telling the American people they don't deserve subsidies at the same time you're giving trillions of dollars to the riches of the richest, that 1% of the richest, while people are going to lose their health insurance, while health insurance is going to double, while housing, people are going to lose, many people are going to lose their home because of mortgage rates, just a whole host of things. Food costs has went through the roof, but he was the one going to put it under control. And people didn't care because they thought it was hurting someone else. And so they voted for this clown to carry that position, this most prestigious position America has. And that, that reflects to the world that, America as a democracy has been undermined and torn asunder. Everything he's doing is to destroy this democracy and to dismantle every agency that we have ever fought to put in place. When you think about the EPA, now they have dismantled that to the point now they are putting more formaldehyde into products, more of these pesticides that's going to be put onto our foods and vegetables. without anybody being able to run check on him the whole time he's in the White House. When you see him dismantling the educational system, meaning that money going to come to the states, but that state will not be responsible, don't have to be responsible for making sure Black and brown children get the proper education, the foods and all of that they need to go to school, books, computers. In this day and age, you got to have the technology, to learn while their children are going to school. And, they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for their children to go to school while our children are suffering. Because many times when you go to school, if you are hungry, your stomach is not focused on your education. It's focused on some food. How can I get some food? The Consumers Protection Act that has kept since President Obama has kept credit card costs and all of that low. The interest rates on them low is now going to be able to raise your interest rates from maybe 12% up to 30%. If you miss a payment or something, our Medicare bills and stuff everything is going to go up. When you think about it, I was talking about the Environmental Protection Agency. Well, you think about now the Center for Disease Control, something that we depend on for our health and information to protect our health, whether it's, different diseases that may be on the loose. And right now, measles in parts of Carolina, hundreds of people have gotten measles because this country, these people has no viral information. They haven't had any scientific knowledge of what's going on. Now the people are over the CDC, like Kennedy, or worm brain, where a worm actually died in his brain because something he was doing. So these people don't care anything about the American people. It seems like to me there's a depopulation program in place to depopulate the American people and to end what was once we thought what we kind of thought was somewhat integration. So, or the illusion of integration anyway. But now people they're saying out loud, well, we are Trump people. We can do whatever we want to do to you or to anybody else that they don't like. So it's just so much that's going on that we should be concerned about and aware of.
Yeah.
The Food and Drug Administration being dismantled, just these things that who's going to inspect the food? Because you laid off most of those people. Who's going to inspect the food? Who's going to, they already saying and cauliflower, they're finding these little worm things, So it's just so much that's going on that we are most of America probably unaware of. That's going to really hurt us in the long run, as far as health and all of that is concerned. So it's just a whole host of things that we need to be aware of, if you will.
Yeah, Jerry, and this is just the first year. We got 3 more years to go, and I just hate to think what's going to happen. But what do you think is going on with Trump's health?
Oh, I think he's in bad health. I think he's been in bad health a long time. And when you watched it, if you watched any of the excerpts from that speech the other night, you know something's wrong with not only physically, his health physically, but mentally as well.
Well, there's no question. He's been a mental case, in my opinion, For
Oh yeah,
years.
for a long time. Yeah, for a long time. But the thing about it, they prop him. They keep pushing him out there. But I think the fever is breaking a little bit among Republicans because they realize that well, he's not going to be here. You know,
Three
even
more
though
years,
they
right?
thought that he was going to be the one to turn the country into a dictatorship, but the people are rebelling so fast against what's going on, and even in Republicans' stronghold. When you saw, Miami was a staunch Republican stronghold. That was a shot over the bow that things are breaking. When you see the people in the last election, midterm election, off-year election, get elected of three people for governorship, that lets you know that some things are changing. Even though they might seem small, but they are significant. And then there were some of these super majority now that was Republican strongholds in the legislation. In the legislative body now it's being, it's not a super majority in a lot of the states anymore. And they mean they're gonna have to sit down and negotiate and talk with Democrats, even though they can still pass law, but they just can't rubber stamp the law without any opposition that from other interesting parties.
Do you think that if the Democrats win the House again, you think Trump gonna be re-impeached again?
I don't know, but he should, and all of he should be, because all of the things they've done, him and his sons and Jared Kushner, they done took over 10 or 20 billion dollars out of the economy of this country and used it for their benefit against the American people. And all of that should be exposed. And through impeachment, you can expose all of that, even though the Supreme Court said he he had immunity as long as he's president, and whatever he do as president, he got immunity from. So the people, not only should they impeach Trump, they should impeach the people that sit on the Supreme Court because of their ineptness and trying to eke out laws justly. They supposed to be a neutral orbiter of justice in this country, but instead they are now the right hand of the Republican and the Trump administration, which is is unjust to the rest of people talking about, well, he got 70 million. Well, it's 300 million people in this country. So it's 130 million people then don't believe in what he's doing. And now some of the Republicans are saying the same thing, that they don't believe in what he's doing. So now you're going to see that it's going to be at least 140 million people that's against what he's doing. And day by day, people are beginning to realize, like the white farmer. Well, most people think that this money, this 12 billion or so, I think he says, is going to give to the farmers. It's not going to go to the poor white farmers. It's going to go to these magnetized farmers, these big farmers in America. The majority of their money, some small farmers might get it. And the black farmers still going to be left out because over the years, they have done the same thing. And we are fighting that case. We are fighting a case right now to get what Sanders and his team started years ago with the black farmers. We're still working on cases like that because only a few of those black farmers got some money from that. But Joe Biden did sign into law that money could be given to, that money should be released to black people because they earned it. But then the white farmers who are crying now sued to stop it. So we never got what was coming to us because of and now they're the one crying because what goes around comes around. And they didn't think that that same energy they put out there was going to come back to them. And it's not going to come back to the small white farmers who many of them are losing their farm. And you got people like J.D. Vance is involved in this, I forgot the name of the program, but they buying up land like mad, them and the guy that owned Mark Zuckerberg and all that. They're buying up all these poor white farmers' land, you know.
Yeah.
So
Bill Gates
I got to get that
brought up
program.
a large swath of farmland across America.
Yeah, yeah. And it's all these super wealthy, super rich people. And what they're doing, they're buying all this land because whoever controls, you know, one of the things Les Humphrey talked about, he said, whoever controls the media controls the mind of the people. Well, whoever controls the food products in this country will control the people because they can give it and they can take it away. You know, one of the things Abraham Torre in Burkina Faso said, if you can't feed yourself, you're not a country. Because if they can cut your food supply off, you'll die of starvation and malnutrition and all kinds of other disease, and you'll be fighting among each other. You'll kill each other over something that is not even fit to be consumed. So that's the kind of world we live in right now with these people that are using farmland now to control people. And that's something that we need to be looking into is buying up much farmland as we possibly can instead of all the other crazy stuff that we are doing now.
You know, Minister Farrakhan has been advocating that all of his career about we need to have our own farm, our own property, and so forth. And I think he went as far as to say, what do us like y'all did Native Americans, you know,
right?
Like they sent, well, maybe not, because they gave Oklahoma to Native American after they took the whole damn country, and then took Oklahoma back after they made them walk there in the Trail of Tears, gave them Oklahoma, then took it back. So maybe not. Maybe I don't know yet. So.
Well, you know, most of those people died on the way because they were walking and froze to death and began to die of all kinds of diseases that they never heard of. So that's what we got to be conscious of.
Yeah.
And
Jerry, talking about died a whole lot of disease. the pure evil that America has done to people of color has been not revealed on a wide scale basis, and that's why they want to delete the history books. They don't want the history book to be accurate, but the fact remains, and they've been distorted so bad. You're talking about people, Native Americans. Not only were they susceptible to all the diseases that white people brought over from England, but to make matters worse, they actually infected blankets with smallpox and diseases and gave it to the Native Americans as a gesture, thinking that the Native American people thinking this is a good gesture from there, but there was a plot to kill them. All of that history has not been revealed. And so I agree with you. The history of the United States need to be rewritten, but it needs to be rewritten from a true point of view. The concept of a scapping, it didn't come from Native Americans. No, it came from Europeans was scapping Native Americans for their long hair and stuff like that. So this history story has not been told, and I employ people, do a little research for yourself. Just don't take anything at face value. You know, if you hear talk about anything on this show or on Our Voices show, don't take it at face value. Do your research. Fact checkers. You know, we ain't 100% right all the time, but fact checkers to make sure that our facts are right, and fact check your history. Your history, we had some of the biased history that we ever had in this country because it just tells a story from one side.
You know, most people don't realize that, you know, the indigenous people of this country, they ate their prime meat was buffalo. Well,
Right.
the country, the military, the government of this country saw that these people was, you know, they grew these buffaloes, they grew, you know, just out on the plains, and they only killed what they wanted to eat. They didn't destroy the whole buffalo family because they were, you know, just to hunt them. They only hunted to eat. Well, the government saw that these people was getting all this nutrients from these buffaloes, the protein and all of that. So, in order to starve them out during the winter months, they killed millions of buffalo.
Right.
You know, and now they are protected species. Now that you wiped out millions of them off the Great Plains of this country, so that other people could not eat. Now they become a protected species, and the buffaloes, you know, seem to know what happened. And when people, you know, you seen them in them places where the buffaloes are attacking these folks. Oh, you gonna get out and you gonna piss me, huh? After you done killed my family off.
Oh, Jerry, I tell you.
Those are the facts. Millions and millions of buffalo was killed off to starve the indigenous native people of this country.
Yeah.
And most people don't even realize that a big majority of the Native Americans in this country were black people.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is why Martin Luther King, in one of his speeches, he said, before the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, we were here. You know, we were here.
Yeah.
We was already here before they got here. We was navigating the Great Sea. We were trading with China and other places around the world. We was navigators. You know, we was inventors. You know, we were building pyramids when these people was crawling around on all fours in cages. In caves. And that's why they're called Caucasian, because they came out the Caucasus Mountains. You know, but the thing about it, the history, if you don't know that history, you know, people can tell you anything. And this is why now they want, because so much history is coming out. With the advent, one of the things that the internet did, you know, even though it's a lot of crap on there, but there are people out there are exposing this history so fast that they can't keep up with it. So they want to, these big billionaires like Peter Thiel and all them, they want to buy up the internet. That's why they are buying up things like TikTok. They want to put it out of business. They want to get rid of Instagram and all of that, but not they don't want to get rid of it. They just want to stop certain content
control it
from being shown. It was like when rap music first came out. Rap music first came out as a positive thing, but then they saw that it was too positive. And because it was exposing police corruption in high places, you know, corruption among our own people, you know, it was exposing that. And then they, you know, these rich executives said, no, we got to do something else. So they tied rap music to expensive jewelry, to expensive cars, to guns, and to and the same executive that was producing all this gangster rap was investing in private prisons for our children to go to prison. You know, next thing you know, Tupac and Biggie was just the big names that we saw that was murdered in this country, but it was so many others during the crack epidemic, where this stuff was doing so much irreparable damage to the mind of people. And they did nothing, no program, nothing was set up to help them, except to send them to prison to become bigger slaves. Not only they're slaves in the community, from crack, but they became slaves where they had to work in these prisons for free. But when it came to the opioid epidemic, oh, we got to do something. We got to set up program because these white children now are dying from this. You know, they are dying from fentanyl. You know, they are dying from all these drugs that we've been subscribing to them. We're going to have to put doctors in prison now because, you know, they are subscribing, what was that, Oxycontin and all of that. And people were just getting it because it was, you know, it relieved their pain. But, you know, but it was killing them at the same time because they were overdosing. So, but they set up places for them to go so they could be, you know, rehabilitated from that. But for the Black people, we're going to send you to prison. We're going to fill up the prison industrial complex with you. We're going to separate you from your family so your family can't even. We're going to build a prison, but it's going to be out in our neighborhood so that not only will the government, this become government jobs for the prison industrial complex, but we will have slaves. We will have abundance of labor, free labor. And on top of that, if you're in that area, you counted during the census, you're counted in that census thing, in the Census Bureau so that X amount of dollars come to that community. And most people don't realize that. That's $1,800 per person. But whatever community you in at that time of that count, that's who get the money. Not where you lived at, not where you was at before, but where you at now. So all of those things have done some just huge damage to our community. We've lost congressional districts because of the removal of Black men. Some 5 million Black men in our community are missing. Well, and all of them are not, you know, are not in jail. They just missing. What happened to them? Some hundreds of thousands of Black women are missing from our community. What's happening to them? Or is it that somebody's harboring their body parts? You know what's
Jerry, you say that, and people don't believe that, but a lot of that is true. But let's when you finish that thought, let's turn a page because I want to talk about something positive before we get out of here. We only got about 6-7 more minutes, but finish your thought on that.
Okay, well, I'm finished with that, but I do want to say one thing before we move on. It's around this time of year, a lot of people are lonely. Yeah. So I would encourage everybody, if you got family members that's by themselves, that's you know, have no one, at least invite them over during this time of year, because it's a whole lot of suicide take place this time of year also. Yeah. So loneliness is a hurtful thing this time of year. Deal with the mental components of our lives in this time of year. So people are, they see all the gathering of family members and all of that, but then they're at home by themselves, lonely, and nobody to talk to.
That is so true, Jerry. And I often tell folks on this show all the time, check on your neighbors, check on your grandparents, check on everybody that need help. And somebody might be right across the street from you, might not be able to, can't get out, they might be wheelchair bound, or they might be elderly, or might be bedridden. But you need to check on them to make sure that they're okay. And particularly during this season of Christmas and all the holidays, please check on your neighbors and be nice and kind to your neighbors, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. What you got planned for the holidays, Jerry?
Not much. I'm trying to. I was gonna go on the road a little bit, but I'm thinking about every time I see all these accidents and stuff, or people getting on the road, then too many people don't return home. So I was thinking about getting on a plane and flying to Chicago to see my daughter, but I think I'm gonna go in February when the crowd died down. So I think it'll go around either last of January or February. So because I told her, I said, no, you don't need to be on no plane right now for one thing, it's not enough air traffic controllers out there, and they are the ones that are out there are overworked and definitely underpaid because they and that's you're talking about some stress. I was looking at a simulation with my nephew one day, and all these planes were coming in, and I'm like, how do you finagle that? There's thousands of planes coming in, and one air traffic controller has to deal with a whole bunch of that plane. And you can you imagine? I got and you got to protect the lives of all these people to make sure that plane lands safely. So the stress of that, you think about it, that's a whole lot of stress.
A lot of stress. And Jerry, you're talking about traveling by car or traveling by air. You kind of reminded me of my grandmother. She used to have some. If you know me, I got a lot of saying, and I got a lot of saying from my grandmother. And she used to say, "What you're doing is trading one devil for the other."
Yeah, yeah. But but the plane has always been more safer than on the ground.
Yeah.
Because you're talking thousands of people that get killed traveling every year during the holiday periods. And even when they're without holidays, it's a whole lot. I'll be watching the news and people that got killed just driving. I know it's a possibility. None of us are safe from accidents. Because that's why it's called accident. But I'm trying to be safe as possible, especially because I don't want to get caught out in no snow. And I hate cold weather, so I definitely don't want to be out there in this cold weather.
hey, Jerry, for somebody from Chicago, you hate cold. That's probably why you left Chicago, huh? Because that hawk is really.
That was one of the main reasons I left there. Getting up every morning, that snow and cold and that wind blowing, you could hear that wind whistling around the buildings. I'm like, oh Lord.
Let me ask you a question, Jerry, just because I'm nosy now. I know you're from Arkansas, right? And what did they say about they used to call it, old folks used to call Chicago. What made you go to Chicago?
To work, the money.
Okay, you worked there. Okay.
Me and Farmer just at that time one good friend. Picking cotton and chopping cotton and driving tractors and all that. We wasn't good friends at all. I'm like, I can't do it.
Jerry, and I tell everybody, we got to get out of it, but I tell everybody, I guess God works in mysterious ways, Jerry, but I hated picking cotton and everything. Cotton, that was the worst job I ever had in my life. But it did one thing for me. It made me appreciate any other job after that. Okay, I'll tell you that right now. It did.
Same here. When I first got my first job in Chicago, I made more money in that week than I had made in a month.
I know. And
I
then,
thought I had hit the jackpot at that time.
And then I used to hear people on those jobs complain about how they are tired and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I said, geez, you just don't know. You just don't know. All right, Jerry, you got a minute or two to wish everybody a happy holidays and everything before we wrap up.
I do want to do that, but I also want people to know that we're Move for Change is we are in our membership drive period as well. We are going to have our election in January for new officers, and I'm going to run for the presidency of the organization for 2 years. I'm giving it up after that forever. But I do want to help make the organization solid and all of that. But we are in our membership, and anybody that want to be members of Move for Change, they can give me a call at 850-206-3776, or they can call us at the office, 850-432-4411. Yeah. But I do want to wish everybody some happy holidays, Kwanzaa, definitely, because it means a lot to the Black people of this country to be able to have some national time together And that's
Yeah.
what Kwanzaa is all about, the 7 principles of Kwanzaa.
Yeah. Also, the folks that our friends, Jewish friends with Hanukkah, and believe
Hanukkah,
it or
yeah.
not, there are some black Jewish people,
Oh,
contrary
yeah.
to popular belief. Sam and David Jr. one of the prime examples you're thinking about, but because all of the vitriol and the hatreds and stuff like that, so everybody be safe out there. Jerry, I need you to be safe out there for this Christmas holidays. And we're gonna be on Thursday, but we want you to come back next Tuesday, and we'll recap what happened over the holidays. Okay? Can I count on you?
I'll be here.
You'll be here. All right, y'all,
Yeah.
folks. I tell you, thank you so much. I won't be here tomorrow. I won't be here Thursday, but I'll be back on Friday to trying to recap what's going on over the holidays. And remember, I want you to be safe out there and make sure that you check on folks that's less fortunate than you. Try to make somebody's holiday a good holiday if you can. Okay, please do that, and I'll see you hopefully on Friday. Another old saying my grandma used to say is, "I hope to see you if the creek doesn't rise." Okay, so
I'm
remember
telling you.
this. I love you, and as Omar Neal used to say and I love you with a perfect love. And George Wallace say, "It ain't nothing you can do about it." All right,
Ain't nothing you can
we'll
do
see
about
you
it.
next week. I mean on Friday. So tell everybody about this show. Okay. All right, y'all. Love you.